You are that temple. God will destroy him. If anybody destroy you, you are the God temple. God will destroy him. Read chapter 1 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 16 and 17 verses. God will destroy him. Read 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 16 and 17. Notice what? Only those who live according to God's divine law, they are the God's temple. Notice what? Only those who live according to God's divine law, they are the God's temple. Not the false religions, temples or buildings. And to whom you are belong. Also read John chapter 8 verse 47. And to whom you are belong to, God says, to whom you are belong to. Read John chapter 8 verse 47. And it's so amazing and unbelievable. Focus this, my dear friends. It's so amazing and unbelievable. God's divine law, it is true and accurate and alive, and some of its words are very scary and frightening and alarming. It's so amazing and unbelievable. God's divine law, it is true and accurate and alive, and some of its words are very scary and frightening and alarming. How the Creator has warned the mankind to beware what we do with our life. You see how the Creator, the God, has warned the mankind through His divine law to beware what we do with our life. The Creator knows you from your mother's womb. Whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we hide, and we all are naked to Him. He created the man naked from the ground, and man returns naked to the ground. Only those who have assigned by the Creator goes to the heaven. The rest of them all will remain on this earth. I would like to read this once again, my dear friends. It's so amazing and unbelievable. God says in His divine law, it is true and accurate and alive, and some of His words are very scary and frightening and alarming. How the Creator has warned the mankind to beware what we do with our life. You see, this is in His divine law. The Bible says, the Creator knows you from your mother's womb. Whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we hide, and we all are naked to Him. He created the man naked from the ground, and man returns naked to the ground. Only those who have signed by the Creator goes to heaven. The rest of them all will remain on this earth. So, my dear friends, you think this is a fairy tale stories? My dear friends, do you think it's a fairy? Think this is a fairy tale stories? No, my dear friends. Do not lean on your own understanding or trust what the man says. No, my dear friends, do not lean on your own understanding or trust what the man says. Do what the Creator says and live according to His divine law, and it will grow in your heart for you to become a righteous person, and it will guide you all throughout your lifespan to protect you. The divine law. God says, do whatever the Creator says and live according to His law, and it will grow in your heart for you to become a righteous person, and it will guide you all throughout your lifespan to protect you. So, my dear friends, God's time has come very closer. So we'll focus this, my dear friends. The world religious conflict is ahead. The world religious conflict is ahead, and it seems to be already started. I mean, religion to religion, they fight each other. Once this conflict is over, the peace will come all over the world. Once the religion and religion fights each other, and then when the conflict is over, the peace will come all over the world. And then suddenly the destruction will start all over the world with fears of fire. And then suddenly the destruction will start all over the world with fears of fire. It's God's day, the Armageddon. Read Revelation chapter 16, verse 16. After the conflict of the religions, each other, the conflict, once the conflict is over, the peace will prevail all over the world. And then suddenly God's destruction, suddenly the destruction will start all over the world with fears of fire. That is, it's God's day, the Armageddon. Revelation chapter 16, verses 16. Watch out, my dear friends. God is not a man that he should lie. Read Titus chapter 1, verse 2. Hebrew chapter 6, verse 18. Number chapter 23, verse 19. To this very day, God is still guiding the American nations to become strong and strong. You see, my dear friends, once we'll focus again. The Armageddon means, it's a Hebrew word. It says, each day, God's war. That's what it's called, Armageddon. It's a Hebrew word. It's if you can read in Revelation chapter 16, verse 16. Watch out, my dear friends. God is not a man to lie, that he should lie. God is not a man that he should lie. Read Titus chapter 1, verse 2. Hebrew chapter 6, 18, verse 18. Number 20, chapter 23, verse 19. Notice what? To this very day, God is still. Notice what? To this very day, God is still guiding the American nation to become stronger and stronger. This is very true. It's very true. The Americans are the most powerful nations in the whole world, and they are the rulers of the surface of the earth, the sea, the space, and they are the highly advanced technologies network in the whole world, and they can see any country from their own land. What do you think about this, my dear friends? He's guiding the American nations, and guiding the American nation to is guiding the American nation to become strong and strong. Is guiding the American nation. So it is true. Every Americans are the most powerful nation in the whole world, and they are the rulers of the surface of the earth, the sea, the space. They are the highly advanced technologies network in the whole world. They can see any country from their own land, from their own country. And also they are well equipped with very sophisticated armory to destroy the entire world with fire. Notice what, my dear friends? They also and also they are well equipped with very sophisticated armory to destroy the entire world with fire. Let us think for a moment about the Second World War. How the Americans, they used only 2 atomic bombs to stop the World War II, killing millions of people. Just imagine what a mighty powerful country the American nation is. During the World War II, the Americans, they only used 2 atomic bombs to stop the World War II, killing millions of people. What a powerful country, the American nation, to stop the World War II with 2 atomic bombs they used. So once again, my dear friends, God's Armageddon, the Revelation chapter 16 verse 16, plans ahead. God plans ahead. He might use the American nation to wipe out with fire the entire world, or God might use his own power to wipe out the entire nation of this earth. The same way what God did to the surrounding nations of the Babylonians. We'll focus this in a minute. God's Armageddon, the God's war is known as Armageddon. God's plans ahead. He might also use the American nation to wipe out with fire the entire world, or God might use his own power to wipe out the entire nations of this earth, entire nation of this earth, not the world or the land. You want to wipe out the entire nations. They are called the stiff neck. They don't worship the God. They are called stiff neck, known as stiff neck. They are ungrateful to the mighty God. That's what it's all about, that he's going to open up his own war. Armageddon is God's war, armies, God's armies. He can do whatever he wants it. So plans ahead. He can just, within a second, he can destroy the entire nation of this world with fire. Or they might use little by little the American nations. There's another power, second to God. He has guided the American nation to become strong and strong, and that is the reason. You see, the Americans are the stronger and stronger. Every day, every minute, every second, they are becoming stronger and stronger. They are the people who rules the world. They are the rulers of the world. And second to God. So the same way, what God did to the surrounding nations of the Babylonian time. We'll focus this in a minute. Excuse me. He focus this, my dear friend. He used his servant, King Nebuchadnezzar of the Babylonian, to destroy the surrounding nations of the Babylonians. During the king Nebuchadnezzar of the Babylonian is a country surrounded by the Babylonian surrounding nations of the Babylon. So God used the Nebuchadnezzar. It's like the American president. Today's president maybe. It's just like